Hello, love. Welcome to Feeling Fridays here on the Libran Key. Messages for the highest and the greatest good of the Empath Collective and the Empath Journey here on Mama Gaia. Know that if this message has found you or you have found it, that there is something here for you. That is always the intention that I put into these messages. And if you are returning here, family, thank you so much for being here. Sending each and every one of you so much love. This feels like it's going to be a very straightforward message of encouragement on your empath journey. The energies of the Venusians coming through here, specifically the angelic realm of the Venusians, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, the Sisterhood of the Rose, the lineage of the Rose or the Temple of the Rose. I'm getting a lot of High Priestess energy coming in here, specifically connected to Mama Iset or Mother Isis. Simply wanting us to keep at it. That's it. And I'm working with the energies here of Pyrite, this beautiful Pyrite sphere, and Rose Quartz. And I invite you, if you have these crystals available to you, this is a really, I'm hearing, empowering combination. Okay, so Pyrite is a really interesting crystal because when I first started working with it, it was very, for lack of a better way of putting it, it was electrifying for me. And I know some people have had that experience with Pyrite. Yeah, the Venusians coming in here, the Venusian angelic realm specifically, the Venusian angel frequency. Three guides that I work with in particular specifically saying to me that this is because it can be very activating for some people, okay? So if you've ever experienced that, know that you're not alone, okay? And it activates you exactly where you need activating. But it can be a jolt to the system because this crystal is very powerful, and it's obviously associated with the golden ray and golden light frequencies. And you could even say consciousness here. When you pair that with rose quartz, which is, you know, it's like the ultimate to me empath crystal, rose quartz, one of, but the main, the big kahuna, okay, of empath crystals, which is very soothing, which is very, very divine feminine in its energy. You get this really interesting combination of a protective, divine feminine frequency. Because gold, even though it's very much associated with the energies of the sun, which for the most part in a lot of different traditions is associated with masculine energy, we also have to understand that masculine and feminine exist on a spectrum, and that within a masculine there are feminine, and within a feminine there are masculine. And there's this protective strength of the feminine coming through for this reading with this crystal combination. And I'm just going to bring those energies and those frequencies back in again if you want to meditate on them, if they're not available to you. Really, really grounding, very nurturing and loving, but in no way enabling in the more dysfunctional sense. They really, really want to bring that through for this message, okay? I am going to be working and asking through the Light Seers Tarot. That's what they've guided me to ask through. And the Work Your Light Oracle, specifically the Work Your Light Oracle, even though we do have a Rose Oracle, right? They want me to work with the Work Your Light because the focus now, especially if you're someone who resonates with having a mission here as a light worker or a starseed, really, really important too, in connection and in conjunction with your empath journey, okay? Also, they're giving me the imagery and the actual scent of the rose as a meditative tool, as an energy to meditate upon and with, as an energy to incorporate in your physical environment to assist you. They're actually showing me for this might be specific for some of us, but they're showing me in a broader sense especially within the next couple of weeks. This video is posting on the 22nd of March. Let me just take a quick look at my calendar here. We do have a lunar eclipse. Okay, they want me to touch upon this. We have a lunar eclipse on Monday, on the 25th of March, which is also the Feast of the Annunciation. This is connected to Mother Mary. Okay, they want me to go a little bit into that right now because this is all based on some of the readings I've shared with you on the Occult Christ by Ted Andrews, where this particular feast day is connected to soul power and new vision. Okay, so there's something about the imagery of the rose that you can especially incorporate during this time where we have this, we've got this full moon lunar eclipse happening on Monday. I'm just going to jump ahead to the next week after and see if there's anything else here. Yeah, and then Mercury is going retrograde on the 1st of April, interestingly enough, which is April Fool's Day. That's interesting. And then Venus is entering Aries on April the 5th. So, and they're specifically pointing me to Venus because these are the Venusians that are coming in for this. So there is... we're basically closing out Venus being in Pisces, moving into Aries. And it's almost like we're extending the spring equinox or autumn equinox, depending on where you are in the world, this energy, especially connected to the Empath Journey, 2 weeks from now as Venus moves into Aries. It's almost like it's like the sun moving into Aries, but because this is a message coming in on behalf of the Venusians, very much connected to the Empath Journey here on Mama Gaia and the Sisterhood of the Rose, they're really indicating that for the next 2 weeks. So until April 5th. And they're also showing me the 5th being a number of change. Some kind of shift happening around that time. And they're saying specifically to you, if you're feeling called to work with this energy, you'll know intuitively this will resonate for you. They're actually showing me somebody getting like a chill or some kind of like feeling on the back of their neck here, right? Like when the hairs go up on the back of your neck. Also, I'm feeling quite a gut focus here. Because of this golden energy, I'm getting a lot of gut, solar plexus energy. You'll feel it in your gut. Also claircognizance, just knowing it through that soul star chakra, right? That this is for you. That's a very specific message that wants to come through. So working with the imagery of the rose, meditating upon it. The scent of the rose, having that around you, working with essential oils, rose, absolute oils, things like that. And also the colors associated with it. Specifically, they gave me pinks, reds, and whites in terms of the rose itself. But I'm also getting a lot of, like I said, golden energy coming through. Also, they want me to share with you, this is something that was in the Occult Christ, in Ted Andrews' book, A Meditation. This is interesting, but this is something that you would have to work with. Ted Andrews speaks about working with this imagery for a full year and doing this meditation every day. But if it resonates for you, please check this out. And I would recommend that you actually get this book and read, because I cannot do it justice. There's so much that he goes into, but he shares the imagery of the equal armed cross, an eight-pointed star in the center of the cross with, I believe it's 7 roses, if I'm not mistaken, red roses around this star. Now, if there's something in that imagery that is perking you up, Okay, this is why they want me to bring it up. They want me to share the imagery with you because if that's something that is perking you up, for lack of a better way of putting it, they're just showing me somebody going like, what? Like actually going like, huh? Like all of a sudden going like, that speaks to me. Then check that out for yourself. There's something in that imagery. It's very activating, okay? There's something in that imagery that is very activating, and if that is something that calls to you, check that out for yourself. I haven't even done, you know, I'm curious now. Yeah, they're showing me that I'm seeing people searching this actually online. So if this resonates with you, maybe look up that imagery. Just like the Immaculate Heart of Mary, that oftentimes you see depictions of Jesus Christ and Mother Mary with that same Immaculate Heart. It's somehow connected to that is what they're showing me. So if you find that activating, check it out. And that's an invitation for you to even check out Ted Andrews' teachings on this, The Occult Christ. I feel like I need to link that book below. I've spoken about this book so much. I'm just writing it down. Give me 2 seconds here. Yeah, so again, this is in no way, you do this if this resonates for you, okay? If you feel that this resonates in some way, I feel the more and more that I have been engaging with the teachings of this book, what I'm finding is that there's more to actually learn. So it is a great starting point, a wonderful starting point. If you are at all interested in occult Christianity, and when I say occult, that means something that's hidden from view, right? Esoteric Christianity, not the exoteric Christianity, not the dogmas and the doctrine that have been brought down through churches as an institution, but the actual, I think the best way that I can put it, and to put it most simply, is a spiritual, inward, deeper understanding of how the teachings of Christ and Christ consciousness actually affect us on an individual soul level, okay? That's one way to put it, because this topic is just so vast, okay? I'm also hearing Essenes. So if you're interested, again, if that's something that resonates with you, maybe check that up. I also feel that there's a lot of information out there on the Essenes that's limited too. That's just my own personal kind of what I've been picking up on that. I myself have not done a lot of research on it, but Ted Andrews just mentions them in the Occult Christ. Okay, so as I went to go get Work Your Light, okay, as I went to go get the Work Your Light oracle here, this slipped right out from underneath the deck, Leap. And there's that full moon, okay? All right, so let's touch upon this, because they're obviously connecting this message and the energies coming through to a very timely part of this message, which is the full moon lunar eclipse that's happening on Monday in Libra. And they want really to bring that Libran energy through here with regard to harmonizing, balancing. They're showing me that there have been a lot of activations and sort of upgrades, so to speak, that have taken place, and we need to recalibrate and balance. Hence this 2-week period now, from now, moving into 2 weeks into April the 5th, when Venus transits into Aries. It's like she's beginning a new cycle again. So there's something here connected to the empath cycle, connected to empath consciousness, connected to a recalibration point of the heart is what they're saying to me. And trust. Leap, you go first. The universe will catch you. Like I'm hearing, will catch you. There's a trust factor here in our own hearts, in ourselves, asking us to trust more deeply in the truth of who we are, in our authenticity. Okay? Having done well, that was fast. Okay. Having done the work up until now, you're already doing it. Stop overthinking and keep facing your true north. Yeah, they are affirming that more than anything right now. Your true north is the truth of who you are. And when I say that, what I mean here and what they're guiding me towards is your authenticity, also your sovereignty, because you are truly a sovereign being. When you peel back all the layers of indoctrination, when you peel back all the layers of faulty empathy, that is what you are. You are a sovereign being who chose to came here for a purpose. And if you are awakened, there is obviously a mission or some kind of, I'm hearing the word enmissioned. And they're giving me a synonym here like entrenched. When you are enmissioned, you are in the mission. Oh. And I'm hearing now level up. Some of us are really leveling up and we're being asked to really take this leap of faith. I saw 1616 on the counter as I said that. Share your voice. Look at that as I cut the deck. They want me to pull this out. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna come out of the cave. Persecution, expression. All right. Very much wanting to address here the work that has been done on the persecution wound. Oof, there's a lot that's been done. And I'm hearing that there's a lot more to do. There are new awakenings taking place, and there are souls coming online, so to speak, awakening with holy anger around this persecution wound. And remember, this is connected to the early Christians, right? This is connected to ancient Christianity because ancient Christians were persecuted. 1717, as I say it on the counter. They're given some very big confirmations here. Akasha, they want me to share this split part of the deck here. Your guidance is divinely guided. Some of you, some of us, have connections to this ancient Christianity, to the Sisterhood of the Rose, to the Temple of the Rose. It takes on so many different names, very much like Mama Ace said. She's reiterating that, right? The goddess with 10,000 names, okay? All right. They're showing me the need to exercise tremendous compassion for those who are coming online with regard to this persecution wound, and to remember when we ourselves remembered that, okay? The ever-unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. This goes back to choice. They're saying some of us need to remember that. Some of us need to remember coming out of having awareness and coming out of victimhood consciousness, because so much of it is connected to the persecution wound. So much of it is. Especially if we have experienced past lives, they're showing me how that trauma lives in the body, even if it's a past life experience. But I'm also seeing it now in this incarnation. And it comes out in many different ways. It comes out in you being, like being called something like, people have called me like witch hellfire, when you have people directing so much of their own programming and indoctrination at you, especially when this comes from a place of fear is what they're showing me. Anytime you've been name called, anytime you've been told that you're doing the devil's work, for example, okay? They specifically want me to use that term. Anytime you've been called the classic one, woo-woo, like you're off your rocker. But this also, they're showing me manifests in simply wanting to fit in. this social conformity that, and while they're showing me social structures, groups, community, family is very important, it can also be the source of some tremendous wounding and programming and indoctrination, okay? So we grow up, especially if we've been deeply affected by this persecution wound, we grow up not wanting to make a mistake. And I'm not saying this applies to everybody, right? But we all react to it, but specifically, we all react to it in different ways. But specifically what they're showing to me is this energy of playing small, so you don't ruffle anybody's feathers. You don't want to rock the boat too much, okay? But they're also showing me, and they're directing me to Archangel Raphael. And I believe this was the message that came through, last week, with regard to a cycle of heart healing that is closing itself out. And they're now connecting it to Venus moving into Aries. Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that. Beautiful confirmation. Okay. Nine of Wands coming out as I split the deck. Yeah, this is that energy of being guarded, not wanting to let your guard down. But remember that after the Nine of Wands comes the Ten of Wands, where we lay that burden down. So they're showing me that this cycle is closing out. But energetically, it hasn't fully happened yet in terms of it being integrated in the body is how they're showing it to me. Okay? So take that however it resonates. Yeah, look, with the world coming out in reverse. Yeah, this cycle is, we're right, it's like we're at the tail end of it. Okay, so they want to share some more information here. They keep on pointing me to this Akasha card. Your dividance is, your dividance, your divine guidance. Your guidance is divinely guided. Okay, Six of Cups in reverse. They're also showing me here an energy of maybe being stuck in this, in that wounding of the past. Okay. They want me to read Akasha from the book. Let me just, because I feel like this is either a soul, this is an activity. Okay, it's a transmission card. So I'm going to hold this up. And if you feel called to participate in this, just want you to take a deep breath. Sigh it out even. Just let it go. Okay. You can place your hand over your heart. Close your eyes. Feel into the heart space. And I will read the transmission as follows. I open myself up to receive the wisdom of the Akasha. I'm ready to download any information from my soul records that is in my highest good and the highest good of all right now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. Okay. They're pointing me to the fact that some of these soul records for some are coming online now with regard to the persecution wound. Also, some of us may be discovering other persecution wounds or past life or other, they're showing me incarnations where we had experienced again the persecution wound. And it's almost like they're showing me that this is a test in a way, or a gauge, because that test word can be triggering for some of us is what they're showing me, but it's not meant to be triggering. It's just to see where you are at and to really take the third perspective in that, okay? Oh, look at that. 10 of Cups. The High Priestess in reverse. Okay. I just want to tune into this one. Okay. They're showing me again this energy of not fitting in. Specifically, they're showing me the energy of questioning some of us right now. Why can't I just be happy with some of the basic things you know, yeah, they're showing me this energy of, oh, and they don't want us to feel bad in that, okay? Yeah, this goes really deep, okay? So there's a grief that we undergo when we awaken and we realize the things that used to make us happy, like going to the movies and just vegging out on a film, not second guessing or questioning. Maybe there's an ulterior motive here. Maybe there's an agenda, okay? There's a period of grief that we go through when we realize that things have shifted and things have changed. And they're giving me that as just one tiny example, because this can apply in any part of your life. This could be relationships, is what they're showing me, where you are realizing that you have outgrown certain relationships, but it's very difficult for you to move on from them, to sever from them. Maybe you're actually in a kind of struggle where you're finding that every time you bring up something that is important to you, something to do with your journey, something to do with your path, and you get a lot of criticism, or you're getting people who just don't get it. And they want me to differentiate here that some of the people in our lives are not going to get it, but there's still going to there's still going to be a modicum of just, I might not get it, but I still honor you, and I still understand that you're on this path and this journey. I might not understand it, but it's who you are, and I respect that, and I love you for that. That's a very different energy than what the fuck are you talking about again? That's a really different energy, right? Like, oh God, what are you going on again about these bulls? I don't know. Is that a specific thing for somebody? That's a very different energy than, you know what, I might not understand everything you're talking about in terms of ascension, in terms of your spiritual growth and journey, in terms of you want to become a healer. I might not get that, but I still love you and I respect you. And I understand that you have a place in the world just like I do. And not everybody's going to be the same. They keep on coming back to this thing of conformity. I'm going to make a note of that because we're like 27 minutes into this video. This is a whole other thing that they want to talk about. This is going to be a whole other message that wants to come through, and it might be outside of Feeling Fridays. I don't know. We'll see. They want to speak to this because there's something in the conformity that we really need to, what I'm hearing is debunk. And this high priest is coming out in reverse. This is that energy of, you know, intuitively, this situation, this relationship, these connections you have outgrown. But at the same time, you don't want to leave just yet, even though you know. Now, it could be there's some unfinished business there. Look at that. 9 of Wands coming out again at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so what they're showing me here, there is a defensiveness in that respect. That kind of wall is up around wanting to change. Now, there could be a myriad of reasons as to why that's happening. Specifically, this is Wands energy, so I'm going to speak to that. But you know in your life where perhaps this is happening, and you're going to have to go deeper into that for yourself to understand why, okay? Is it fear of being alone? Is it fear that you won't be supported? Is it fear that you got to venture out on your own and that's going to be difficult physically? That's going to be difficult to support yourself. There could be a myriad of reasons here why, okay? Now, with the Wands energy coming out, that defensiveness is it's being reflected though in your energy and in your spirit. Something here wants to grow. Something here wants to expand and it's not able to. And what the Sisterhood of the Rose and the Venusians really want to bring through for this, and Mama Iset connected to all of this, is that you need to simply, we all need to do this, okay? Whenever situations like this come up, there is an energy here of accepting what you're feeling right now in and of this moment, okay? They can't emphasize that enough. Understanding as well that you can't do it all in one day, that this is a process, that if there's assistance or support that you need to seek for your highest and greatest good, to be responsible in doing that, right? Getting the help, getting the assistance that you require, whether it's something in the physical sense, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, you name it, right? That's what they're showing me with this Nine of Wands, okay? Because it's all starting energetically. And everything starts as energy, really, when we talk about things, then coming up in your physical reality or coming up in your emotional body, right? This is really focusing on the purest form of energy here, okay? Really wanting to come through to support you in that, okay? Seek the assistance that you need and that you know you require for your highest and greatest good. If that is the case for you. They want me to just pull this. Okay, here we go. Yeah. They want me to pull that Nine of Wands right off. Fool is underneath in reverse. So do you see how energies, and there's a bigger lesson and teaching in all of this. If our energies are not aligned with our authenticity, with our soul, our true essence, we're never going to be able to take that next step forward, right? To really grow, to take that leap of faith, because these are two very contrasting images, right? They're similar, but they're contrasting when we see them like this, right? Okay. They keep on bringing me back to the imagery of the rose here. Some kind of heart healing here wanting to take place, okay? Yeah. They showed me, 32 on the counter. When I said that, that's a 5 and a 5, and that reduces change, right? To a 10, Wheel of Fortune. A cycle closing again. One thing they want me to just finish off on here is this 10 of Cups coming through is about envisioning and really feeling in to the energy of emotional fulfillment and what that feels like. That should be a barometer in a way, right? And when I say should, you know what I mean? Using that as a barometer to understand if you're in a situation or in a place, in a relationship, wherever, that you know is going to be, that is, in fact, emotionally fulfilling. And understand, too, that that changes. That can change, too. That can change. All right, it feels like a way bigger message than this. I'm going to close it out there, though, and we're going to get back to this, especially something with regard to conformity that wants to come through, okay? Thank you to the Venusians. Thank you to Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, the Sisterhood of the Rose. Thank you to Mama Iset for coming through for these messages. I thank you for being here, for sharing your time and your energy in this space with me, Empath. I'm sending you so much love wherever you are. In love and liberation always.